Now we're going to look a little more closely at the items in the Healthcare Provider's Toolkit that are recommended for sending home. The first thing that we're going to look at here is the Symptom Tracker. This was designed by BrainLinks to be a really easy to use way of tracking exactly what symptoms going on and what the conditions were around the time of the symptom and what you did and whether it worked or not. So once you get this information listed several times in here, maybe 5, maybe 10 times, you start to get a good idea of what might be triggering that symptom. And once you know that information, you can begin to make some simple adjustments to either lessen those symptoms or hopefully not have them at all. A great way to use this is when it's only for 1 or 2 symptoms, and then this is also helpful to share with the teacher. The teacher can do the symptom tracker at school and apply the same methods, and also communicating how it's going at school and how it's going at home can be really helpful for the symptom tracker to be used at its best. Next, we're going to look at the ACE care plan. So we looked a little earlier at the ACE evaluation, and that was used to diagnose concussion. The care plan takes it a step further. So when you have been diagnosed for concussion, having the care plan is a really helpful way to take the information home, understand the symptoms a little bit better, and be able to share that information both with the school and with your coach or with your PE teacher. And one of the things that we love about the ACE is that it explains even more detail, if you look in your toolkit at the back, about a gradual return to play. Not everyone is as familiar with how that works, and it lays out step by step how to do that. There's also a return to work version for the ACE care plan too. So next we're going to look at the return to school after concussion letter. That's also part of the CDC Heads Up campaign. We like this because it's also 1 page, so simple. You complete the information on here for the school, just a simple check marks next to the different symptoms the student might be experiencing, and then on the back it has a lot of ways to easily list some recommendations for the school. So this gives them the verification that the child's been treated by a healthcare professional for a head injury, and then lets them know what they need to know and what they need to do. When concussion symptoms aren't going away, probably our favorite handout from BrainLinks. We love this one because it's so colorful and it's easy to read, and it's kind of a one-stop informational material for parents if their child's hurt their head. So it takes them all the way from the very first day of the injury, what they might need to know and what they might need to look for, to when concussion symptoms aren't going away, maybe weeks, maybe months, maybe even a year after the injury. So we have 2 versions, and you just pick the age-appropriate version for the patient. The one with the train on it is for kids who are 5 and under, and then the other one is for children who are school-aged. And the school-age one goes into a little more detail about return to school, 504 plans, and IEP, things that a parent might not know if they didn't need to know these things. They both have great local and national resources as well. Then we're going to look a little bit further at some optional send home items. The first one is also part of the CDC's Heads Up campaign. The fact sheet for parents gives a little information about what is a concussion, what symptoms to look for, how to recognize those symptoms, and what you need to know and do. That's a great one to use for sports physicals, just to always send home. The next one is the CDC's Flyer for families. I like this one because, again, it's really colorful, really easy to read, and it helps the family know kind of in 1 page what they need to know about return to school. So this is great information about talking with the school and getting the supports they need, and has some great online resources on it as well. The signs and symptoms handouts, these were put together so that we would have a variety of handouts about signs and symptoms. for all ages. So this one with the train is for children who are 0 to 4, and it goes into a little more specific information for children who may not be able to verbally tell you what their symptoms are, so that you can still recognize those symptoms, and goes into prevention a little bit more too. When your child's head has been hurt is our all age children's handout about signs and symptoms, and it lists so much on there, everything that you might look for with symptoms from a concussion or from a head injury. The section in yellow is sort of our danger signs section, things that you would look for that would be a reason to see an emergency medical professional. And then there's a small section in there in that one page when your child's head has been hurt that also addresses infants and toddlers and symptoms to look for there. These are both available in Spanish. And then when your head has been hurt for adults, this is our adult version here. Also includes that danger signs section, and just great list of all the symptoms that you might want to look for. And then we like on this one that on the other side, it also includes a section for symptoms in an older adult. The TBI Service Coordination Program brochure. Many people don't realize there's a statewide traumatic brain injury program and TBI service coordination program. 8 service coordinators across the state that work kind of as a case manager to help people of all ages anywhere in Tennessee at no cost. So we're very lucky to have that in Tennessee, and a family would love to know about this service to be able to help them if their child or family member has had a traumatic brain injury or concussion. And last but not least, BrainLink's contact information. Anytime you'd like to reach out to us, we'd love to hear from you, love to hear your questions or feedback, and we always offer our free training. Thank you so much.